Heating. It's the clash of two top six contenders in the match of the day from Windy Hill. Essendon, who are always hard to beat, especially at home in front of their loyal fans, tangle with Melbourne, who are desperate for a win after dropping the points last week in Adelaide. Down at Geelong, the Cats fans were out in force to urge their charges on as they came up against the Adelaide Crows, still seeking their first win in Victoria. The AFL Today. All the top action from round 11, exclusive to 7 Sports. Yes, a very good evening everyone and welcome to the AFL Today. We're into round 11 and despite the first day of winter, dry grounds for some top matches, the feature one being at Windy Hill for the clash between Essendon and Melbourne. It was the match-up between second and fourth on the ladder at the Hill this afternoon, but both teams were well below full strength. Melbourne, in addition, making 7 changes after their loss last week at Football Park to the Adelaide Crows. The State of Origin clash, however, wasn't kind to the Bombers, losing Bradley Plain and Gary O'Donnell, although to some extent they were compensated by the return of Paul Salmon, while the ruck duel between Madden and O'Dwyer was the one most fans had been waiting for. A big crowd was naturally in attendance. We pick up play tonight at the start of the third quarter. Our commentators are Bruce McAvady, Peter McKenna and Ross Glendinning.
Start of the second half, 3-6-6 forward half-time. Madden with a big thump and free kick against O'Dwyer, and that's costly for Melbourne because Brett Lovett had the ball in his hands 50 metres against Obst.
I just don't understand Steve O'Dwyer sometimes. It's a bit like Rod Grinter. They want to play football they can play, they just lose track of what's going on, just undisciplined play.
Well, this man has kicked 542 goals for Essendon in a remarkable career. He's earned every honour in footy.
Well, I said in the second quarter I'd back him every time from that distance, and he let me down. I'll back him this time, Bruce.
Well, if you want odds, he's about 6-1 on from here, Peter. There are his right odds from 35 metres out, straight in front. And is it odds on, look on, straight through the middle. This one, a goal. 4-6-6-4, and Ross, when you consider that Essendon kicked the goal on the siren in the second quarter and kicked the goal on the siren in the third, very handy minute and a half of footy for them.
Oh, my word, you just can't let them go. And those two players that kicked them, Salmon and Madden, have been quite good players. Madden particularly, he opened up so well. But he's such a good player. It's interesting that people did write him off early in the year. I mean, you just can't see why. He's been a very good player.
Melbourne by 10 points. Oh, look at the big hook with the left hand again by Madden. Gets it to Buick. This is Burns. Caught. Gets in a hand pass. Long taps it on brilliantly to McMullen. On to Buick. Buick caught high. Free kick Darren Buick. And that's 50 metres. Oh, no. Oh, it could have been against Brett Lovett. He knocked the ball out of his hand. And
when you think that some of the other 50s have been given.
Well, normally that is paid 50. So a little bit unlucky there, the Bombers. Buick kicked one from 50 metres in the first quarter, but it's one from 55. Here's a beautiful kick. He's kicked 2. There's the drop punt. Oh, magnificent looking kick. Oh, don't tell me that's a goal. What a great kick. Darren Buick has kicked his third. That'll lift the Bombers.
Yeah, it's a great comeback. Just 3 minutes of football and they're right back in the contest. You just can't let them go. And those quality players that have got them back, and it's a great kick from Buick. Really backed himself.
Buick with 3. Four points the difference at Windy Hill. Buick with 3 goals. Simon Madden has set them alight though from the centre square. Here's McMullen to half forward to Anderson. Clark gets back with him. And it'll be a throw-in with Essendon in attack.
Haven't they got a much better looking forward line now with not all those big lumbering blokes there, Ross?
That's right, and that's where Melbourne fell down last week because they had too many big fellas up forward. You just can't have it in today's football.
Salmon and O'Dwyer. Dyson at the back. Robbed by Izzard. Lovett gets hold of him. Anderson tries to get a kick away. Salmon taps it forward to Buick. Free kick. Well, he wouldn't kick this one. It's a magnificent kick, though, isn't he?
We had a quiet second term. He's the one they want firing around the packs.
Buick to Kransberg. Now he can kick this from 45 metres.
Gee, it's very untidy marking by Melbourne.
And Ross, we've got a situation here, a scenario that Essendon could find themselves in front after this kick. Remarkable when you think that Melbourne led by 4 goals on the half-time siren.
Just shows you're always in it if you have a go.
Well, he's 45 metres out. He's normally a good kick. It holds up a bit. Salmon in the front. Oh, he's got it, has he? No. Play on. Melbourne get it away. Taviney, good tackle. Watson caught. It's still frantic like it was in the first half. The footy hard to get hold of. Long brilliantly to Kransberg. To the front of the square. Bryce concedes a behind. And Essendon on top here. 5 goals, 7-6-4.
Michael Long, geez, clever. He's like Jimmy Cracker and those players. They're so quick with their hands and they know what's around them.
Well, a good move. He was playing well in defence, but a good move. He's far more dangerous up in attack. Winter to the half-back line. It's snuffed over the top. Good play as it comes to Spawn. Spawn to the half-forward line. The leaders on by Watson. And Timmy Watson is having one of those days where he just can't do a thing
right.
right.
When you think the way he played in the state game, he played so very well, particularly early. And he just can't get his hands on the ball correctly.
Steins and Salmon. A bit of a stalemate there. Viney. Now Howard to Bryce, who's done pretty well. Into the centre. Kransberg, who's been a big player. Schwartz, free kick to him. It's been a good duel, Ross, because both Schwartz and Kransberg have done all right.
Yes, they're good mobile people. Good players to have in that key position. Yes, Brad Fox a bit overzealous there.
To Viney wide, and Viney towards Bennett, who got a shove out. Play on.
Yes, it's interesting. He called play on.
He didn't pay that push out.
I thought he should have.
Oh, a definite free kick, but the mark was taken anyway.
By Jackson. So Jackson from 30 metres out to establish some order again for Melbourne with a drop punt. And it looks as if he's put it through for a goal. Melbourne get one against the tide, really, and sneak away again at 7-4 to 5-7.
And that's where Ricky Jackson is at his dangerous best around goals. He doesn't do enough around the ground for my liking, but getting near goals like that, he's a very good kick. That's his second. Kicked one on the first quarter. And is as good a kick as Darren Buick is for goal.
Melbourne by 9 points. Centre bounce again. Both ruckmen went very early, and as a consequence, they all missed it. That was Dyson punching it forward. Kransberg sockers it off the ground wide. Glenn Lovett. Great first quarter for Melbourne. Swings it back on the left foot. That's a beautiful kick. Sets it up in front of goal. Sean White back with the flight. Couldn't take it. He's down behind the play. It's kicked away by Fox. They've got the loose man created here. Alan Izard. The Bombers go forward. Oh, loose men everywhere. Spawn gets around onto the right hand. Onto the running Simon Madden. He's got a new lease of life, the big fella. To half forward. Punched away from Anderson towards the line. Buick there again with pace. Steins in after it. And eventually it's forced to the line at the other end of the ground. Didn't that move quickly from one end to the other?
John Howard in the screen, returning to Melbourne today, along with Obst. Now, free kick to Salmon there against Steins.
Can you believe that when they're both holding on, Bruce? I mean, I don't think he paid it for a push at all. They're both jostling. You've got to allow a contest.
Well, a number of free kicks from throw-ins today.
Well, I've got to pay them all now. You can't just pay one, pick it out willy-nilly. You've got to start paying them from front, or you don't pay them at all. You've got to make it clear-cut.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if that trend continues throughout this match. And Salmon can kick a goal here. He's 35 to 40 metres out. Not the longest kick in the league, but this is normally his distance and position. Kicks it well and kicks it through. Well, a body blow to the Demons there. Salmon second, and that's the second time Essendon's kicked a goal from a free kick in this term. 6-7 to 7-4.
Yeah, that was a bit of a gift in my book, and as that happened, Tingay came on for White, Sean White off. And that's Salmon's 13th goal for the season. And of course, he's been their leading goal kicker at Essendon for the last 4 seasons.
margin, 3 points. Melbourne still with their noses in front. Dyson again punches it out the centre. O'Dwyer taps it on the Tingay. Good play by the Demons. Tingay to the pocket. Thumped away by the Bombers defenders. They're working very, very hard. Tingay again. Fox ran hard at the ball. Then he had a touch of the fumbles. And the umpires found a free kick, and it will go Essendon's way. And it looks like Fox will take it, although he seems to have damaged his arm there, Brad Fox. So quickly gives it away to Spawn. Spawn can go wide to Burns. Burns runs out, chases the ball. Will it sit for him? They drive, that's off the ground. That'll be a free kick to Essendon.
Unlucky there, Schwartz.
Schwartz worked hard against Burns, but unfortunately for him, he socketed over the line.
From half-back, Salmon in the centre here with a number of Demons flying against him. Buick with pace, a bounce. Good handball. McMullen for a goal. Over the top to Werner. And the Bombers in front. 7-7 to 7-4. And a Buick.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1991 AFL Premiership season.
The top game of football, and really the best was still to come at Windy Hill, 9-11 to 8-6 at the final change, as we go back now and we pick up play at the start of the final quarter.
And the Bombers to go to the left. Madden up against O'Dwyer, 9-11, 8-6. O'Dwyer gets his hand on it. Lovell couldn't take it away. Viney over the top of it. Flood, who's been on and off the interchange bench throughout the day. Watson. Hard ball to get hold of. Robertson throws himself on top of it. Handball's out, but Viney was able to cut it off. Flood forces it forward. Clark stands his ground. Long in there after him. Now Dyson with a chance. Gee, it must be slippery or something. This one to get hold of. Now Long. No one's really taken a clean possession. Tingay misses Clark's body.
Whoa.
And unfortunately, Hills misses Clark. Now the handball out to Howard. The first kick of the third quarter. Izard with a quick one. Doesn't go very far. Watson chopped it off, but couldn't control it. A back turn there by Viney. Is it still in play? Buick, no, it's going to come back. And it'll be a throw in.
Oh, Bruce said with some tired boys after that sort of close contest is very difficult stuff. It's a sort of fitness you just can't get overnight.
Very hard ball to get in that pack. Salmon. Socket away by Howard. Watson. Clever little hand pass. Flood. Can't get his boot to it. There's Andy Lovell. Look at the pressure. Oh, that was tough.
I think he might have just plucked it out to give himself a breather, the umpire.
Well,
just to open it up a bit.
Tried to get in a hand pass. Ian McMullen from centre wing. To half forward. Steins up in front. And it's a mark. He played a great...
No, it's a free kick the other way.
And 50. And 50 metres. A free
White,
kick, I thought, must have been against Sean White. Jimmy Steins had taken the mark. Interference must have been by White. And then 50 metres will take this kick. The kick will be taken right on the line by Somerville.
Not that intelligent really, Peter, by White. He saw the umpire pointing the direction the other way. He virtually ran past him and he continued to kick the ball.
Jimmy Stein saying that's two you've handed to them on a plate. And there's the kick by Peter Somerville. Goal. Well, what a handy one. One goal for the game to Peter Somerville. The Bombers kicked the 10-11 to 8-6.
He's been a handy player this year, Somerville. He's done some good work. He's kicked 11 goals. That's his 12th for the season. And having represented Victoria against Tassie on Tuesday, he's a player that certainly Kevin Sheedy's looking to for big things.
Essendon open up a 17-point lead here. 10-11, 8-6. Buick from the centre. Salmon caught underneath it. White takes the mark. Plays on quickly to Viney. Squeezes it to Lovell. Watson holds him up. Cuthbertson and Spawn over the line. And the Bombers travelling like winners. Long way to go, I know, but they've kicked 8 of the last 10 goals in a low-scoring game. And that's a good stat when you look at their dominance.
Could have been a free kick to Madden. He was actually slung off the ball then. Watson, McMullen, the Bombers looking good. McMullen to the pocket. Mark taken by Steins. He'll want to play on. Now he does. Brings it to centre wing, but straight to Buick. No mark. Buick taps it back cleverly. Madden goes to ground. And umpire Peter Keary will come in and bounce. And they've done a good job today, John Russo and Peter Keary. And they've helped contribute to a very good game of football.
O'Dwyer gets the front spot against Madden, but Madden gets the punch away. A loose one. Howard tries to control it. Hip and shoulder by Robertson. Lovett's handball cut off by Hills to Anderson. Goes short. Good kick to Salmon. Could have blazed away, Ross. Saw Salmon and chipped it to him.
Yes, good team Oran to play that. And this could make all the difference now. If Salmon converts, it really could break Melbourne. Road had no chance there.
Kicked 3 goals, Salmon. Only kicked 11 so far this season in 6 games. Leading goal kicker in 84, 87, 88, 89 and 90. So he's been the dominant goal kicker in the late 80s and into the 90s at Essendon. And from 30 metres out, could make Melbourne's job nearly impossible. Leans back, kicks, misses.
When you think, Bruce, that's his distance. He's had so many opportunities kicking on this ground, not only at training but during games. And the sort of goals really he should be kicking.
10-12 to 8-6. Grinter brings it back in and kicks it to Road.
Peter Road at half-back. Margin is 3 goals, so certainly not insurmountable. Obbs is the flyer in front, thumped away by the strong Essendon defenders coming over the back. And over the line, Paul Morris is the man on screen.
Luke Beveridge is coming back onto the ground, which is terrific to see.
Ball on centre wing. Stein's now doing the ruck work. The dangerous Buick. Quick kick. And take it over the line is Glenn Lovett. Still on centre wing. There's Luke Beveridge, who went down with a knee injury very early in the game. Steins cleverly. Todd Viney trying to work his way through the pack. Here's Howard. Good hand pass. Glenn Lovett. Obst trying to trap the ball. He does so. Viney couldn't pick it up. Goes to get it again. Oh, a touch of the fumbles by some of the Melbourne players. Here's Dyson. Beautiful kick to full forward. And a great mark taken by O'Dwyer right in front of goal.
Yes, I thought he was going to upset Swartz there, Pete, but he actually kept his eye on the ball and made a good, solid effort there. And his marking hasn't been too bad today. And again, it just shows if Steve O'Dwyer plays the football, he can do some good things.
Well, he is directly in front, 20 metres out. Can be kicking differently at times. That's a good-looking one, though, right through the middle for a goal. So Steve O'Dwyer kicks his first, and Melbourne fight back. They now trail by
2 goals. To develop the most advanced four-wheel drive in the world, we tested it in the most rugged country on earth.
Panasonic G-Series VHS cameras, 8x zoom, high-speed digital autofocus, 4,000th of a second shutter for the perfect freeze. They can even see in the dark and turn anyone into a regular David Attenborough. Then watch it all again on VHS home video recorders anywhere. Panasonic's compact G-Series VHS cameras.
Des Johnson knows this part of the country like the back of his hand. He can pick Ernie Jones's car a mile away. And he knows that the only time he has to stop at the local railway crossing is for the 4:28 train every afternoon. What he doesn't know is that today there's an extra train scheduled. When you approach a railway crossing, train yourself to slow down, listen and look carefully both ways before you cross.
No AFL club in history has ever simply ceased to exist overnight. But if Fitzroy doesn't raise $800,000 by June the 30th, that's exactly what will happen. 107 years, 8 Brownlows, 8 premierships will all be buried forever. Please help save the Lions by sending your donation to this address or by phoning 650 2255, because without your help, Fitzroy is history.
Kellogg's Balance, oat bran, rolled oats, rice, honey, wheat germ, hazelnuts, brown sugar, and hot milk. They say if it tastes good, it can't be good for you. They're wrong.
72-60. Madden with strength. Free kick against him though to Steins. And a number of free kicks from ruck contests, both boundary throw-ins and at the centre bounce to centre half forward Tingay. And suddenly you get a feeling, and the feeling is that Melbourne's right in this. Tingay wide, indirect, but he's got Lovell there.
Well, Buick kicked the goal from this angle, but from another 5 or 6 metres further back.
At least, Peter. And, well, Lovell led there, and he really should kick the goal now. He's committed the pass to go wide to the pocket. Should go back and kick it through, but he didn't. Across the face. Madden back there. Chance though for Ricky Jackson. No free kick paid. Flood, the handball. Robertson had it taken away from him by Dyson. Throw in the pocket. David Robertson, pretty quiet game for him. Somerville coming up from the forward line. So Madden and O'Dwyer. Madden to Watson, to McMullen, with some run from half-back and a long kick.
Peter Rode sets himself now. They took Somerville down the forward line. That left Rode on his own in defence. Well, he's not sure what to do with it here, Peter Rode. Oh, he's kicked it wide. It's 2-on-1. So Melbourne won. That was good play by Tingay to get it over the top to Lovell. It's at half-back for Essendon. Danaher keeps it in play. Spawn tackled with the ball. It's still in play, in fact. Cransberg. Oh, the bounce eludes Sean White. He should have waited. He really didn't use his nous then. Flood. It's Werner, I should say. Michael Werner. Number of bounces. 50 metres out. Kicks a goal and puts it out of bounds on the full. So that was a poor kick by Michael Werner.
It was, Pepper. To point you made about White, he could have just slowed a little and allowed the ball to bounce without charging at it.
Short one to Stephen Clark. Brett Lovett. Awkward one. Did pretty well to get away from Hills. And a good handball to Steins. Obbs shoved out of it, free kick. And remember, just 12 months ago, Melbourne was in a much worse position than this at Windy Hill and won.
Yeah, they were 30 points down at 34 points down, Bruce, 11-minute mark, so they really did come back.
Short by Obbs. Tingay was outgunned by Salmon, as you'd expect in that contest. Now Salmon caught the Izzard handball, set him up a bit. Missed by Cransberg, taken by Watson. Lovett puts the pressure on him. Now Hills. Glenn Lovett gets back. He's got some options here. One bounce. Steadies himself, kicks it to centre half forward. Wants a big mark. Salmon back there. Tingay against him. Where's Bennett? As Salmon kicks the ball to Watson, but touched. Watson's handball, a good one to Anderson. Just had to wait for a moment. Gets round onto his left foot to centre half forward. Too far for Wanganeen. Free kick given away.
Yes, Brett Lovett kept his eye on the ball, but Wanganeen got in the way. Definite free kick there. A bit stiff, Lovett. Wanganeen puts himself in position, though. Gives himself a chance. Watch this on replay there. Lovett just got caught up. Had no other way to get to the free than go through Wanganeen.
Short to Buick.
Hamstring, maybe.
Well, he certainly felt it. A twinge, maybe high calf area.
Yeah, looks a bit, yep. And Hills is off and Burns back on.
Well, he's a superb kick, Buick. He goes short this time, looking for McMullen. Viney tries to get rid of it. Melbourne over the top of it. Now Clark.
Stephen Clark with pace. 2 bounces. Former Essendon player. 3, 4. Will he go again? No, he'll kick it long to the half-forward line. Bennett out there. He's been well beaten today, Darren Bennett. Anthony Danaher did it well. Finds Salmon. Salmon over the top to Watson. Buick is loose, but he elects to go to half-forward instead, and he finds Michael Long. Michael Long wide to Buick. Darren Buick coming into goal. Can he kick number 4? He kicks it smothered. Oh, what a great game. Michael Long to the pocket. And almost a go. It is a good mark to Stephen Clark.
Beveridge on for Cuthbertson. So Clark to take it from the back pocket. Suddenly Essendon finding it hard to kick goals, Ross.
Yes, they are. I mean, Melbourne are good at just coming back and bottling up, but it's anyone's game, really, Bruce.
Steins misses it. Buick, Watson, who's lifted a bit easy, decides to take them on, does it right along, and from 40 metres out on his left foot goes to the goal square. Madden, White against him, and he did well there, White, giving away some inches. 10-13, 9-6. Well, it's been a tense-type game all day. Grinter goes wide to Andy Lovell. This is important. Anderson under pressure, probably panicked a bit in the end and kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, Gavin Mangan, he thought the handball could have come through.
Grinter, the short one, he's found Howard at half-back. John Howard to the half-forward line. Danaher running back with the flight of the ball showed courage. There's a hand pass from Robertson. Eventually Izzard gives it to Spawn. Oh, bad kick to the half-forward line. Clark goes to ground. Well tackled by Buick. Burns goes into lender hand. This is Beveridge to Glenn Lovett. Melbourne want the next goal. Beautiful kick, Glenn Lovett. To the half-forward line. It's thumped away by Anthony Danaher, and over the line it goes.
Oh, they really need Bennett to take a mark, don't they, and kick a goal.
I think he might have been deceived by the flight of that ball. It really did have some carry on it.
Plenty of time for the Demons. Essendon leading by 13 points. O'Dwyer, Viney couldn't quite carry it through. Now McMullen. Short kick, clever really to Buick. To centre wing, Lovett. Now Glenn Lovett to Steins, caught. Anderson got his hand on it. Brett Lovett. Wanganeenu's a very good tackler. One of the best tacklers in the game. Anderson shrugs it off and gives it to Spawn. Here's a chance to Long with skill. He'll find somebody. He normally does. The kick to Madden. Burns. Still Burns. Handball over the top. Spawn will sit up for him. Left foot off the ground. Goal! Just what they wanted. It's like taking a tooth out in the end. 11-13 to 9-6. The famous fan is happy. And wasn't that hard work, Ross Glenn, did he?
Oh, you're not wrong. There was 4 Essendon players had the option there. I thought Burns might have got tackled and been dispossessed. Just watch this on replay. Madden and also Flood, I think, ducked back to the square, and there's Spawn is one that has a dip at it. He just rolls away from him. And also Michael Long got up there again, so finally they all got it through.
Very difficult now for Melbourne, but they'll fight hard. Lovell to Viney. They need Bennett firing. He's marked this time. Now Darren Bennett has marked in front of Anthony Danaher. He will kick from about 40 metres, very acute angle.
Yes, and Sean White will be coming off. It cuts him back on again. That's a good mark. He'll take his best kick for the day to get the goal from there.
He's only had 3 kicks for the day. They need this one. Oh, shocker. Across the face. Salmon back with the flight. Oh, that could have been a free kick to Melbourne for a push in the back.
He's got it. Beveridge it is.
And it will go to Beveridge.
Good to see him come back on too, Pete. He's got a chance now to give his side an opportunity to get back into this game. See this in the back was Ezard.
Luke Beveridge now, very acute angle. Will he come out to the right? No, he elects to go for a direct kick. It's a good-looking kick off the boot, and it's a goal.
Well done.
First goal for Luke Beveridge, and Melbourne sneaking back. 11-13 plays 10-6.
It's given them some life, Pete, there's no doubt. Bennett's kick was a poor one, but Beveridge has had a go at the footy, and here we see it once more. Went for the mark behind Salmon and just Ezard definitely in the back, but a good finish off by Luke Beveridge. The knee he injured, in fact, was his left one as he came down awkwardly in the first quarter. So that one goal from him with 2 kicks, a very crucial one.
13-point margin again. 79-66. Great shot there of Salmon and Steins. Buttering up against one another. Steins wins it. Viney. Free kick to Salmon, is it?
Yes. Apparently there's a push, the umpire just indicating.
Well, they've been onto the ruck infringements today.
On occasions.
Yeah. Now Morris, 2 full forward. Flood, Road, and also Madden back there. Going to ground, Howard, Flood with him. And that's a stalemate. And it'll be a bounce down about 10 metres away from Essendon's goal. And I don't think there's any doubt, Peter, if they get the next one, it'll be the killer. But Melbourne's still in with a chance if they can hold on here.
Yes, we just saw a shot of an unflustered Kevin Sheedy. Very calm. He's been through it all before. Here's danger. Michael Long just touched off the boot. Melbourne desperately try and get it out. Darren Cuthbertson to the half-back line. It's a loose ball. McMullen swoops on it. Gives it to Salmon. Salmon short. Oh, good defensive play by Melbourne. Oh, great players. Viney comes through the centre. He should get his boot to it. Oh, he's just brought down as he went to kick it. It's at half forward for the Demons. Lovell. Tingay trapped it beautifully. Stephen Tingay swings onto the left boot. Great skills. And here's a chance for a mark. Oh, yes, Mark Jackson goal.
Goodness me.
Well, Ricky Jackson has kicked his fourth. The Demons are back in at 11-6 plays 11-13.
Ever since we've redesigned our service stations worldwide, something's happened. Millions of new customers have switched to BP. But more than just a shiny new station, these drivers have discovered BP's advanced fuels and oils for optimum engine performance and the convenience of BP's car washes and shops. So you see, our new green stations brought them in. But it's everything else we do that's bringing them back. BP, on the move.
Who would have thought Australian steel could penetrate deep into the jungle of Sarawak to revolutionise the way Borneo pepper farmers build their communal longhouses? BHP Steel is doing it, and doing it 10 times faster than back-breaking traditional methods.
With 10 factories in Southeast Asia, it's very exciting to apply new thinking to unique regional challenges.
At the Longhouse, the new steel roof will keep 42 families dry and comfortable through nearly 5 metres of bucketing rain a year. And the export dollars keep rolling home. Getting out, getting on with it. That's the strength of Australian steel people. Right now, you'll get a great deal on a Mazda van, and we'll throw in an $800 Sid Chrome tool chest, and you get it on Mazda Utes as well. You get more from Mazda, and now you get a bonus tool chest. If you're confused about planning for your retirement, you should look at ANZ's range of retirement products. ANZ makes superannuation, investment and insurance so easy to understand that the penny is sure to drop. Talk to your financial advisor or drop into ANZ and ask to see one of ours.
Uncle Scrooge and the gang head for Outback Australia in a Crocodile Dundee-style adventure. DuckTales Down Under, 6:30 Sunday on the Magical World of Disney.
A young doctor.
I'm not going to be able to get this hand free.
Is faced with a dreadful decision.
I can smell petrol.
Will he make the right choice?
I'll have to amputate.
You're the hero of the hour. You finally managed to get that scalpel in your hand, didn't you?
A rash solution or the only one?
Well, life's in ruins. But why should that spoil your big day?
A Country Practice, 7:30 Monday on 7.
Will history repeat itself here with Jackson kicking his fourth? The Tingay kick was superb, by the way. It was probably going to go through anyway. Salmon wins the tap. 7 points in it. Brett Lovett to half forward. Jackson and Izard. Izard to the boundary line. Obst has Schwartz inside of him if he could get it over to him. And another throw in. Well, it's been a terrific match. It's been a match that at times Melbourne has dominated and Essendon, and then at other times it's been even Steven. Suddenly Melbourne getting a little bit of a sniff of it. Robertson to Wanganeen. Schwartz. McMullen. Good handball. Robertson. A great tackle by Dyson. The commitment by both teams is superb. The tackling's been outstanding. There's Wanganeen with Schwartz refusing to give in. Viney taps it on to Glenn Lovett. Went to ground. Buick couldn't hang on to it. And out of bounds. Gee, it's tense and tight, isn't it?
Well, Bruce, this is the time when the players have to take those hard yards, and the team with the players are prepared to do that the most, and up on top.
Centre wing, Steins, been a great player. Salmon, the big fist of the ball, and again, he only gains about 10 metres on that occasion, but it's out of bounds. Another boundary contest. 79-72, 7 points. Can the Demons do what they did to Essendon last year? Here comes little Gavin Wanganeen. From half forward, he has another bounce. Goes inside with a hand pass. Looking for Anderson, the quick kick to the full forward line. Howard races at it. Bounces over to Salmon. Madden, I should say. Madden taps it back in front of goal, and eventually it's forced by Burns over the line and through for a behind. There's Adrian Burns on screen.
But I reckon there should have been a free kick to Wanganeen after he disposed of the ball. He's pushed fair and square in the back.
8 points the margin, the Bombers lead, as Grinter brings it straight down the centre of the ground.
Looking for Glenn Lovett now. Brett Lovett, smothered by Buick. Here's Glenn Lovett, who's been very good. Wide. A ball to be chased here. Izzard and Jackson, a couple of little racehorses. Obst, Morris with him. And out of play, centre wing's been there a fair bit today in that area. Andrew Obst returning today, first senior game. Famous family in Adelaide, son of Peter Obst and nephew of Trevor Obst, are great players over the years at Port Adelaide. Here's Watson from Salmon. McMullen, Buick, 18th kick. Spawn, he's been a good player, so's Buick. Slows it up for the moment. Still over 7 minutes remaining, so Melbourne has got the time. Steins in the best position. Madden, free kick to Steins, good decision. So Steins from centre half back.
And Peter Carey and John Russo have really contributed to this great game as well. They've umpired very, very well. Here's Dyson, who's a great kick of a football. To the half-forward line, no mark to Bennett. Well, it's tapped clear, Jackson versus Izzard. Good play by Jackson to soccer it to the line. It's still in their forward zone, and Alan Izzard takes it over the line.
Yeah, I thought Bennett wasn't concentrating there. He should have realised the ball could have carried. It was just almost a half-hearted effort to take that.
O'Dwyer versus Somerville, pushing and shoving going on. Umpire lets it go. Tap straight to Schwartz. Schwartz, a high floater to the half-forward line. Dyson at the back, but what a brilliant mark.
Robertson.
From in front by David Robertson.
Well, he kicked the goal last week at Moorabbin that broke St Kilda's back, and he's taken a terrific mark there against Melbourne. Here's Beveridge inside. Clark really went the wrong way there. He should have gone straight for the goal. Glenn Lovett with a long one. Drop punt, good looking kick, goal. A beauty, that one. And hasn't that made it interesting? 12-6 to 10-14. 12-6 to 11-14, just 2 points in it.
That's terrific, and just reward for Glenn Lovett too. He's been battered today. Bit of pushing and shoving up that forward line with O'Dwyer and Werner, or Somerville I should say. But a good finish there by Glenn Lovett. Well done, he's worked very hard. Backed himself, kicked the goal.
All of a sudden, the margin only 2 points in favour of the Bombers. Centre bounce, most important. Steve O'Dwyer and Somerville having words behind the play. Beveridge showing courage to come back on the ground. Ricky Jackson wrestling with Izzard. Izzard grabs it, hooks it out to the half-back line. Half the ground bathed in sunshine. Here's the dangerous Dyson. He kicks it 60 metres. Look at that beautiful kick. Up to full forward. The ball hits the deck. In the sunny half of the ground, it's tapped down. Ricky Jackson after it. The Bombers by 2 points, and we have 5.5 minutes of play left in this game.
Melbourne charging back. They must believe in themselves. That win last year would have given them tremendous confidence. They know that they can win. No free kick to O'Dwyer there, and Somerville and O'Dwyer at it behind play. Beveridge, who's been a good contributor since he's come back. O'Dwyer, good mark. Yes, free kick paid or mark. Take the pick to
one or the other, Bruce, that's right. Yep.
Well, will Bennett be the target in the goal square? He's going across the ground. Bennett should take it, and he does.
Goodness me.
And they'll be in front if he kicks the goal.
I thought he was going to fail for the same problem he had before when he didn't realise the ball was going to carry, but he got himself up, pushed himself forward. Anthony Danaher just couldn't quite get the yards to get there. Bennett came from behind and stormed through. Just watch this. Lovell it carried, and Bennett just charged from behind. He looked right out of the contest. He's got there.
30 metres out, directly in front, drop punt, goal. Melbourne in front. No point. I don't believe it, and neither does Bennett. Gee, I thought it went through. Anyway, sorry, Demon fans, there's a point the difference.
Well, what a bad miss. That could be vital in the context of this game as Buick marks in the back pocket to point the margin. The Bombers, they lead, but Melbourne, a spirited comeback coming at them. This is Ian McMullen. The crowd roaring. 4 minutes of play left in this game. The ball to centre wing. Cuthbertson read it well and marks at the back. The Demons with a new lease of life. They can scent victory. A beautiful kick, Cuthbertson. Salmon sets himself, and a great mark by Salmon across that half-back line.
Short to Somerville. Look to play on. Tingay on the mark. They really can't afford to go defensive, Essendon. There's still plenty of time, 3.5 minutes. They need a goal badly. Flood. Kick it to the space for Madden. Madden for the goal, if it'll sit for him. And yes, he does it. And they rejoice and celebrate. He's a hero, and so he should be 12-14 to 12-7. He kicks his second.
When we got Ted's superannuation payout, we thought we were rich. Then we realised we had to make it last the rest of our lives. So we had a chat to our bank manager at Westpac. He made sure we got the right investment advice. We're nice and comfortable now. Can't understand why some people take big risks with their money.
You can bank on us.
Long before anyone else, Compaq introduced the world's first 386 PC. And long before anyone else, the world's first portable 386. As our competitors say, what will they think of next?
Hey, for the chance to win this fabulous four-wheel drive, plus instant cash and other prizes, grab a copy of Aussie Post. Also this week, the Queensland farmer who says UFOs pinched his pineapples. A medical furore over the mother of three who's still a virgin. Outrageous Grace Jones and why she's hooked on sex. Meet a most unusual TV addict and the popular author who lives out of rubbish bins. Plus the bizarre plot to murder a millionaire with a lawnmower. Aussie Post with our sensational $100,000 instant win game out now.
After you. Thank you. Lot more upmarket than usual?
Your first drive in the new Honda Accord is an experience you don't want to hurry.
Down. Around the corner, we'll switch cars. There it is.
Ronnie, you missed it. I think this is a much nicer car. Drive round again. There it is!
Drive the 1991 Accord. You'll never want to switch.
Ronnie, have you done this before? No, it's my first drive in a Honda Accord.
This mini-computer has the speed and performance to run over 100 terminals. But so does this, at a fraction of the cost. We're not called Compaq for nothing.
The main event, it's not for wimps.
I'm George Bush, and I am not a wimp.
Put yourself to the test. How smart are you? How observant are you? Can you beat the stars?
We want to see you sweat. We want to see some action here.
Work out who lives here and what happens next.
Stay there.
And you could win your groceries for a year, or...
It's a new car!
So join Shane Dye, Penny Cook, Mark Mitchell and George Negus. It's the only way to beat the Sunday Blues.
Of course it is.
The main event, right before the movie, 7:30 Sunday on 7.
The Bombers by 7 points, but it's not over yet. How vital was that kick by Bennett? Smothered brilliantly by Long. There's Cuthbertson trying to crash his way through the centre. The Demons trying to force it away. Oh, beautiful kick out of defence by Morris towards full forward. Flood races at it. And Anderson. Burns throws it across to Robertson. Robertson a long hand pass, looking for Long in fact. Len Lovett around the corner to centre wing. Tingay, was it a trip? No, he tripped himself. No, I think he might have tripped himself. A bit of acting going on by Werner. And eventually it's forced to the line.
He might have tripped himself, Pete, but he got to push through in the back.
Well, it's at half forward for the Bombers. They lead by 7 points and 2.5 minutes of play left.
Steins and Madden. Again, no free kick. Love it off the ground. Werner got a hard one from the footy rebound. The handball by Tingay was really just hoping. Buick, Michael Long. Left foot, good one to... No, Madden can't get there. Road makes a mistake. Is it out of bounds back here? Anticlimactic for the moment. Now he's got Salmon loose in defence, Sheedy, as he has been for a lot of the quarter. And Somerville's back there, so he's got some height.
And Buick, he's gone back.
Well, with 2 minutes to go and Melbourne needing 2 goals, so Anderson forced to do the ruck work against Steins. And Essendon really bottling it up now. And you'd fancy, dare I say it, that they're home with a minute and 3/4 to go.
Well, that miss by Bennett has just changed the whole game, really. Here goes Lovett with a quick kick to the half-forward line. Oh, he went to punch it. Izard missed it. Here's a chance for Melbourne. Schwartz from in front. Kicks. Oh, don't tell me we can have a tie here because it's a point. They need a goal.
So they were lucky there, Essendon, Peter, because 3 or 4 players they had back there in numbers and the ball just carried through.
Well, we've got 1 minute and 22 seconds and Essendon lead by a goal. Can Melbourne kick the next one?
Danaher brings it back in. He had Somerville on his own out on the member side and kicks it to Dyson. Dyson with a long one. What an important mark coming up. On the ground. Viney. Left foot snap by Jackson. Out on the full. Oh, he's excruciating.
What a game. Tremendous. It's been like that all day, really, hasn't it?
Well, the tide has just flowed with one team and then the other throughout the day. And now McMullen with the seconds ticking away.
Well, we're down under the minute. They lead by a goal, the Bombers. Can Melbourne score a goal and draw this match? The ball over the line and out.
You could really say that either side would be worthy winners.
Yes, I agree with that, Ross. 12-14 plays 12-8. 6 points, the margin. Salmon. Steins should try and hook it back over his head. Players swoop in on top of it. And it's a free kick to Melbourne. A free kick.
Against Wanganeen, Glenn Lovett. High ball to centre half forward. Bennett and Danaher. Danaher punches it away. He's a great defender, isn't he? And the clock gets down to 19, 18, 17. Well, Melbourne have got to get a clean possession and kick a goal to draw it. Clark caught high. Free kick. 6 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they need a mark.
You'll have to go a torpedo punt.
Siren will go. It has. Can Stephen Clark kick the goal from 55 metres out? Well, some people on the ground already. It's unfair. Let's see if Clark has got to poise, maintain his concentration. Really chaos here now. The longer he waits, the harder it's going to be to police this.
Yeah, Madden and Flood have sprinted from the full forward line and try and bottle up that pocket and square area.
Clark, torpedo,
good
kicks
kick.
it magnificently. Will it get there? Oh no, it's been touched. It's been touched. And have a look at that for a chaotic scene.
How can you give a score now?
Unbelievable scenes here. Not good enough, really, is it?
No. There's some crowd in the fight too. Some of them on Dwyer carrying on.
Well, work this out for yourself. There's Izard and Nobbs together. But all I can tell you from all of this is that Essendon has won a remarkable match here at Windy Hill.
And those scenes very reminiscent to what happened to Simon Beasley up at Carrara on the Gold Coast back in 1987 when he too had to kick through the crowd. For Essendon this afternoon, Salmon 3, Buick 3 and Madden 2. And for Melbourne, Jackson 4 and Schwartz 2. 22,000 this afternoon packed into Windy Hill. Coming up shortly on the AFL Today, Bruce McAvaney and more footy from Geelong.
To develop the most advanced four-wheel drive in the world, we tested it in the most rugged country on earth.
days are grey, the nights are long, so turn it on, turn it on, oh turn it on, show me what you've got, turn it on, 'cause when you're hot, you're hot.
Now there's a new system of superannuation from Australian Eagle. Accent Rainbow. It will change your life because it changes with your life. Australian Eagle Accent Rainbow. Because superannuation decisions are never black and white.
You'll lose your blues in Noosa. Ansett Express flies direct from Melbourne to the Sunshine Coast. The bluest thing's the sky. The Sheraton Noosa Resort. You're checking into luxury. You need never leave the hotel. Although, on your front doorstep, Noosa Beach. Sheraton Noosa Super Deal, including free flights and accommodation for children from $572. Call 13 13 44 or your after travel agent. Something new every day. 7 Nightly News with Jennifer Kite.
It's not dieting, it's electricity, and thousands are trying it for the perfect figure.
It's a treatment for cellulite.
Good old Vegemite.
You like that?
Aussies love it, but why not the Japanese?
We're just beginning to discover what turns on Japanese taste buds.
The digital compact cassette.
It'll still play your old analog cassettes.
CD quality plus a whole lot more.
Even a printout of the lyrics.
And forecasting an avalanche. Is it really possible? Telecom and Mobile present Beyond 2000, 8:30 Tuesday.
Plenty happening. The AFL Today continues in just a moment. Let's go to Bruce McAvaney there on the Sports World office and the big show tomorrow, Bruce, from 9 o'clock.
Yes, looking forward to it, Peter. And speaking AFL and talking about it, we'll have Alan Joyce in tomorrow morning. Not quite sure what sort of mood he'll be in, but...
Not good, I'd suggest.
No, Hawthorn struggling a bit with St Kilda, so Alan will be in along with the panel, so we're looking forward to that.
All right, what about, you've got a couple of guests coming, apart from Alan Joyce, Steve Monaghetti. He ran in the Beta Breakers, Bruce, a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, unplaced there, Peter. He had an up and down American tour. He won at the Lilac Bloomsday. He's coming in. He's just got back from America, aiming for the World Championships. Speaking of the United States, we've got a story on Jeff Fennick. He's preparing for his world title fight with Azuma Nelson on June the 28th. This will be also Tyson and Ruddock, we believe, also fighting on this card. The first time Jeff's fought outside Australia, he's got an unbeaten record. Nelson's a superstar. He's only been beaten twice, so once by Sanchez years ago and also more recently by Pernell Whitaker. Alan Jones, the motorcar racing driver. We've also got John Alexander coming down to talk about the French Open, and we hope to have Gary Lineker talking soccer. So it's a big show.
Big show from 9 o'clock. Hope we can join you, Bruce, at 9 a.m. tomorrow for Sports World. All right, let's go back to football now. And the Adelaide Crows faced up to Geelong at Kardinia Park today, desperate to try to snatch their first win in Victoria. While the Cats were more than keen to bounce back after their disastrous showing last week against the previously winless Fitzroy combination. Both teams had players of plenty in action last Tuesday for the state clashes, 7 from Geelong and 8 from Adelaide. The Cats, though, resisted the temptation to make wholesale changes, and the 2 they did make were in fact compulsory, while for the Crows, Darren Smith replaced the injured Simon Tregenza. Sandy Roberts, Ian Robertson and Bernie Quinlan are our commentators, and we pick up play tonight at the start of the third quarter.
Geelong kicking with the breeze as we start the second half. Burke to Simpson. That's the way it was in the first half. Ball spills free, almost back to the centre, and we'll find ourselves with another bounce. Any other moves, Bernie, you've been able to pick up?
Yes, Danny Hughes is now playing at centre-half forward on Schulz, and Rodney Maynard is playing... Stoneham, that's right, yeah, same position, that's right, and with Klug off the ground.
Bairstow, Sockers down towards Smart. Bounce is not a good one, but it does go to Lee. Stoneham should mark this, however, inside 50. Oh, he'll play on and waltz into the open goal and miss. Oh, that was very, very casual indeed.
I think that was another example, Bernie, of the fellow who probably tried to steer the kick. Do you get that feeling sometimes?
Well, sometimes you have too much time, don't you, Robbo? And players just do relax mentally. Sometimes when you only have that split second, you tend to kick harder.
Lee brings it back into play. Jamieson gets there in time and takes the mark in the back pocket. He'll head up towards centre wing and David Marshall territory. Maynard is also there. Stoneham over the top, hammers it over the line.
I think that's one of the good things about Barry Stoneham. Even though he plays in a forward position, his defensive work is good. His tackling's good. When he's out of position, his punching is excellent.
And he's doing the ruck work on this occasion. And he's going to get a free kick. Bit of holding on going on in that confrontation, according to Rowan Saws. Now, Brownless will be the target. Second attempt, stolen by Hocking. Gary Hocking thought about giving it to Simpson, and instead he goals himself. Third goal to Gary Hocking, and the cat machine rolls on.
It's looking very ominous now for Geelong. This is the quarter they really need to hold Geelong, because if they end up with a big deficit at three-quarter time, it will be very tough for them to come back. Geelong with Brownless, they're playing to a pattern. Brownless always leading at full forward. They're looking for him, and the smaller players feeding off him.
Bounce back in the centre, and Burke gets the tap down, goes to Bairstow. Geelong into attack again, up towards centre half forward. Merriman does very well for a little fellow, taps it out. Hocking again, handball over the top, goal to Mansfield from the square. And we're being attacked here from all angles as Michael Mansfield gets his third goal.
Well, he's a very impressive player, Mansfield. One of the Geelong younger brigade, only 19 years of age. He's played 8 games. This is his 9th game for the season. Handball over the top from Hocking, and Mansfield strolls in and kicks Geelong's second goal only 3 minutes into the quarter.
Good bounce. Micken gets the tap out. Schultz, strong, can't get clear. McDermott, kick across his body to centre half forward. Hinkley gets back. Does pretty well, Kenny Hinkley. And I think he's back there because he's very skillful, handling the ball and kicking left or right foot. This time he finds Simpson right on the wing. Simpson's kick to full forward. Brownless over the top. Rolls to the goal line. Mansfield, and it's helped through by Scott Lee for a rush behind to Geelong.
The other change, Filkey's been moved off Simpson. He appears to be playing somewhere in the forward line. He's well up the ground at the moment, but Andrew Rogers is picking him up.
So this early barrage not helping the Crows one bit. Lee brings it back into play. Stoneham with a fist. Bairstow waits down, hurried short kick finds Scott directly in front, 45 metres out. They're an enigma, Geelong, aren't they? Can you work them out, Bernie?
Well, I cannot see any now that you put it that way, because one week they're very good, the next week they're very bad. So there's plenty of ability in the side when they all fire.
Scott from directly in front goes close to the man on the mark. It doesn't matter. There's another one. 2 goals to Robert Scott, and the Cats are hot.
Yes, and they've opened up a big break to Geelong. Already they're leading by 58 points and well ahead. They're kicking with a breeze in this term. And this is the term very important for Adelaide. This could end up a rout if Geelong keep going the way they're going at the moment. Billy Brownless doing particularly well.
Back in the middle once more. Who will win it out of the centre? Well, Couch went for the tap. Gets it back again almost. Stoneham tries to soccer off the ground. McGuinness would have got a free kick if he didn't scoot away, because there was an attempt at legging there that almost came off. Hodges tried to flick it out. Kneeled over the top. Schultz away to Buse. Andrew Buse backs out the back door. Looking for Couch. Clever tap onto Bairstow. Gets his kick just in time. Up towards centre wing. Stoneham and Maynard. Mansfield. Scott. Oh, beautifully controlled. Robert Scott back to his best again. Stab pass. Wonderful football. He had a choice there. Merriman or Brownless. Merriman was in front and took it.
Well, I think the kick was intended for Billy Brownless, but it didn't come off the boot all that well. But what a magnificent gather by the rover, Robert Scott.
Great control.
Just controlled the ball beautifully.
Classical stuff, wasn't it, Bernie?
It was.
So Merriman is going for his first. Bernie said this is turning into a rout. There's another one.
Where do millions of jets, helicopters, planes, trains and trucks go when they're low on fuel? The same place you do. BP. BP. On the move.
To develop the most advanced four-wheel drive in the world, we tested it in the most rugged country on Earth. Please consider.
The Brasher Superstore's Price Blitz Late Night Specials. 3-hour videotapes $2.95. Price breaker CDs from 95, yes 95 cents. Cordless phones $99. Colour TVs $299 and camcorders from under $1,000. Only tonight, only till midnight. Get marching.
Well, I'll just get your figures from the simulator, and there. With this option, the Nationals flexible home loan is paid off in just 11 years.
You mean we can cut 14 years off an ordinary home loan?
And look at how much interest you'll save.
That's over $100,000.
That's amazing.
Looks like we found our home loan.
Check your options on the National Home Loan Simulator at any branch. National Australia Bank, tailoring home loans to your needs.
Here's another. Mr. Spiller writes that he makes a dish he calls courgette and ham pasta from continental mushroom and wine and has instant success. It tastes so wonderful, Continental included his recipe on the back of the pack. Well done, Mr. Spiller.
Charles Bronson
What I want comes first.
is after a killer.
We got no evidence and we can't hold this kid.
But it's only a matter of time before he's caught.
Forget what's legal and do what's right.
Because Bronson's a cop with his own brand of justice.
Plenty of the evidence. He had to be stopped.
Charles Bronson, Andrew Stevenson, Wilfred Brimley star when NEC present 10 to midnight tonight.
For the first time on television, a mystery with more twists than Jack the Ripper, Edward Woodward and Anthony Andrews. Hands of a Murderer. Sunday on 7.
On lead in the early part of the third quarter by over 10 goals. Micken gets the tap down. McGuinness always tries very, very hard. Micken, hand pass. McDermott tries to get it to Filkey. Filkey threw it to Bruce Lindner.
Well, that was well picked up by the umpire, and Grant Filkey's had a bad day today. He had time to do a proper hand pass and get it away legitimately.
Hocking to Burke. Burke doesn't waste any time. The kick slews off the side. Gathered well by Jamieson. Hand pass goes to Bickley. Bickley back to Jamieson. Unnecessary. Kick smothered. Picked up by Bairstow. Pumped back into the forward pocket. Too high there, back there for Brownless. Gathering nicely is Mansfield. Unselfishly goes back inboard. And the mark is taken by Merriman. Hocking a little late on the scene.
Well, it's been unusual today watching the Adelaide Crows because so many times they've missed by hand and foot. The hand passes have been sloppy. Grant Filkey had the opportunity to get the hand pass away and threw it instead, and that's maybe the pressure that Geelong is applying to the Adelaide Crows is making all the difference.
And Russell Merriman, who has kicked one goal from 30 metres. Nice looking kick, he's got two. And he extends the lead now to 70 points.
70 points, and it's all one-way traffic too, Robbo. Geelong a very skillful side. They're moving the ball well into the forward line. They've got a champion full forward there playing in Billy Brownless. Stoneham playing at centre half forward has done well on Maynard. Bairstow around the ground. Couch in the centre. Hocking has been busy as a ruck rover, and Burke dominating the ruck. Well, we've seen 5 goals kicked by Geelong in just over 6 minutes. An extraordinary performance. 18-9 plays 7-5. Can the Crows stop it? That's the question. Rowan Saws comes in to take control again, still virtually in the middle. Micken. McGuinness round his body. Hart. Wants Smith. With him is Higley. Smith used the body but can't take it. It's Rogers who repels the attack beautifully to Couch on the half-back flank. So the Brownlow medalist kicks Geelong into attack. Over Stoneham, Lindner, the big high fly. Well, he produced a number of those when wearing the blue and white Guernsey, but not consistently. Schulz in front, Smith at the back, gives it away nicely towards Liptak, who stabs up towards full forward. That's a better kick, and Hodges will have a shot directly in front, 25 metres out.
They'll probably be feeling pretty cold at the moment, Sandy. The ball hasn't been seen getting down to that end of the ground very much.
Hodges booted one in the first quarter, and he snuck that one home for his second. So that's the first goal for the Adelaide Crows this quarter. They move to 8-5. That's their only score so far this quarter, and Geelong remain on 18-9.
Yes, they really do have to start getting something happening around the centre of the ground. And Micken not having a great day today on Damien Burke. It's all starts in the centre. Their little men have been well held.
$64 points the difference in favour of Geelong. McGuinness gets his foot to the ball but pulls it across his body, and it goes wide to the right half forward flank area for Adelaide, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
What have you been working at, Robbo?
Just the fluctuating fortunes of the Adelaide side this year, Sandy, after starting off in a magnificent fashion, beating Hawthorn by a huge margin. They've had some good wins away, and they've had some reasonable games against North Melbourne in a night game not so long ago. They were thrashed by St Kilda, and they really have in their first season. They're probably just getting a little used to the travelling, maybe.
Well, they're still yet to break the ice in Victoria, Robbo. They went very close against North Melbourne a couple of weeks ago, and they looked very good, but that performance against St Kilda at Moorabbin was ordinary, and today they haven't produced the goods at all.
It's between centre and centre half forward. Lindner tries to get the ball back. Oh, he's hustled and bustled out of it, Abernathy, by Bairstow. Bairstow goes towards goal. Merriman, kick it off the ground, son, he does. And he gets another Geelong goal.
3 this quarter to Merriman.
And he's really not doing much of the roving. Looks as though he's just playing a permanent forward pocket.
Well, that's probably the spot to be this quarter too, Robbo, because the ball's down there on plenty of occasions. Bairstow just brushing Abernathy aside there. Brownless dropping a sitter, really, for him. He up position smart, and there's the roving of Russell Merriman. 3 goals for the term, 3 goals for the match.
19-9 plays 8-5. Burke dominating the ruck. Look at that. That is classical ruck work by Damien Burke. Bairstow gets rid of his teammate, who was young Brown. A struggle for possession. Forsman rather goes after it, pulls Abernathy down as Abernathy kicks the football. Ball comes to Filkey. Hand pass goes further afield to Liptak. Liptak short pass. Hodges probably should have taken that mark, Scott Hodges, but the pressure is enormous up there on that Adelaide forward line, and we'll have a boundary throw in left forward pocket.
I think Hughes may have just got his hand to that pass and just put it off course a little bit.
From the throw-in, Hughes gives it away to the Liptak, off to Hart, bends it back round his body and kicks a goal.
There's still a few years till I retire, and sure, my company superannuation will be my golden handshake, but will there be enough in it to live well on? So I talked to my bank, Westpac. Their life company suggested I start a separate superannuation plan to top up what I've already got. Of course, these days, we've got to look after ourselves.
You can bank on us.
If you are left speechless by your old telephone system, contact Ericsson. Our business telephone systems are designed to keep your lines of communication open so you can close more deals.
What would you like to do to your copier when it goes wrong? Maybe you didn't feed it right. Copyright.
If you have a figure like this, you're very lucky, because most pantyhose manufacturers figure this is what most women look like, except Osti, who understand that women also look like this, and this, and this. So Osti designed a range of pantyhose to fit all shapes and sizes perfectly, which means they're more comfortable, they last longer, and they look good. Osti pantyhose for women of all shapes and sizes.
What could be more essential to our appreciation of life than the world's greatest musical masterpieces? What could be more essential to our appreciation of music than the world's greatest voice? The Essential Pavarotti, 18 of the world's favorite classics from the world's greatest singer. The Essential Pavarotti, Essential by. Out now.
The new Magna SE manual sedan. What a car! I'm less than $25,000.
You know, a Subaru Liberty costs less than that.
What? Maybe, but...
The Liberty's more powerful, it's economical, and it has air conditioning fitted standard.
Well, what about a 12-month warranty?
The Liberty has a 3-year, 100,000-kilometre warranty.
Please consider...
And it's fully imported. Subaru Liberty. From under $24,000, nothing else stacks up.
On Celebrity Family Feud, the nation's top sporting coaches take on our country music stars in a half hour of fun, frolics and... action! Yeah! Then a fortune's up for grabs with Iron Man Kai Leach, the very vocal Debbie Byrne and a demure Chelsea Brown. Fun and games with the stars from 7:30 tonight on 7.
When 4 teenage boys discover the delights of a wild Mexican resort, you've got a very naughty comedy. Hot Chili premieres Wednesday.
123 plays 59. Burke and Micken. Burke, a flick. Oh, and then a thump by Bairstow down towards the right half forward flank. Abernathy first to it. Gets a hurried kick, but only as far as Rogers. Keeps it in play. Towards Brown. The youngster does well. Up to half forward. Over the back. Merriman for another one. Put it down now. 4 for the quarter for Russell Merriman. Well, Brown was kicked 5 in the second term, and now Russell Merriman is having a field day in the pocket.
Yes, he certainly is. Sandy, 4 goals for the term. Brown has kicked 5 goals in the second quarter, as you said. Some tremendous individual performances by the Geelong players, and already in this quarter, Geelong are up to 20 goals 9. And they've kicked 7 goals for the term, and we've only seen 14 minutes of play. So 1 goal every 2 minutes to Geelong.
And there are a few people just over the other side of that fence that were hoping that ball hit the fence and not hit them in the eyes, Andy. Russell Merriman's shot for goal was fierce. Back in towards the centre. Steve Hocking now. Breaks clear. Tap on by Couch. Looking for Simpson. Simpson's left foot kick. Inside 50. Merriman tries to tap it on. Lee bustles him out of it and allows a path for McGuinness. McGuinness's kick wide to the wing. Too far there for Darren Smith, and it goes over for a boundary throw in. There's Damien Burke. What a game he's played. Not a lot of kicks, not a lot of hand passes, but he's been a man mountain in the ruck for Geelong. This time the ball goes over the top of the players' heads. Steve Hocking. There's McDermott, caught by Gary Hocking, and there was not much he could do, so the umpire will call for a bounce. Very determined player is Chris McDermott, captain of the Adelaide Crows, but he's had his work cut out this afternoon. Burke gets into a good position to thump it further forward. Caught in that contest was Liptak. Ball comes out to Couch. Couch goes long. It may even bounce through for another one. It is. Reminiscent of Tuesday night. Paul Couch, who kicked 2 magnificent goals for Victoria over there in Adelaide. And that was very similar, deep in that left half forward area, and he's kicked a great goal.
Yes, well, you could see how strong the wind was there too, Robbo. He kicked that from 60 metres out. Have a look at this in replay again. And Geelong, they've just been persistent today. You'd have to say that, because they've ran and ran and ran, and they've had players in position to do the right thing.
Lee off, McIntyre on for the Crows. Back in the middle once again. Micken tries to get it down, then a hurried left foot kick. Past Steve Hocking it goes. Now an opportunity for the Crows through Bickley, down towards half, but only as far as Hinkley. Here's the man who's just come on, McIntyre. It passes him, but he's very quick for a big man. Does it well, keeps it in play. Gets a hurried kick towards centre wing. Tony McGuinness is there, swings round onto the left foot. Coming down the centre he goes, up towards the half-forward line, and finds his teammate in Hart, just forward of centre. Had Smith loose. Now Hinkley gets back on him.
Oh, too
and
slow.
Hinkley gets front spot. Is claimed by Hughes, however, but he does have support. This is Neal. High floating kick back towards the centre. Micken takes the mark. Mark Micken back towards Hodges. That's a good grab by Scott Hodges. He'll be kicking from just inside 50. And to say they want a goal is the understatement of the year. Hodges has kicked 2. 1 in the first, 1 in the third. That's a good-looking drop punt. Doesn't quite make the distance. And Hinkley is there.
And no contest either from the Adelaide side there. Danny Hughes was kept out of the contest by Damien Burke, but Smith just watched the contest and allowed Hinkley to take the easy mark.
He's got a good pair of hands nonetheless, Bernie, hasn't he?
Oh, he's an excellent player, Sandy.
Hinkley's kick. Back, was looking for Couch, but the Scud missile intercepted. Gave away the free kick. Sweeping hand pass to Bairstow. They're toying with them. Stoner. Billy Brownless says head for home. Well, he does. But coming in to take the mark on the last line of defence is Rod Jamieson.
Jamieson now a little undecided as to which way to go. Eventually kicks it to the outer side. High flyer out there was Simpson, gathered by Bairstow. Bairstow will kick another Geelong goal.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1991 AFL Premiership season.
Yes, I agree with the boys. I think enigmatic does describe Geelong to a T. 84-point winners over the Adelaide Crows today. 6 to Brownless and 4 each to Mansfield and Merriman. And for Adelaide, 3 to Linda and 3 to McGuinness. 17,586 at Kardinia Park. In the other games played today in round 11, St Kilda 2 good for Hawthorn at Princes Park by 26 points. Lockett 7, Winmar 3. For Hawthorn, 2 to Brereton, 2 to Jarman and 2 to Hall. 21,000 at Princes Park this afternoon. In a high-scoring game, North Melbourne defeating Collingwood by 16 points, 5 to Longmire and 3 to Allison. And for the Woods, 3 to Dacos and 2 to Lehman, Christian and McGuan. And in the 28,299 there, out at VFL Park today, the West Coast Eagles defeating Richmond. They won by 37 points, still unbeaten so far in season 1991. Sumich 5 before he left the ground injured, and 3 to Jackson. And for the Tigers, 2 to Des Ryan, 2 to Hogg and 2 to Michael Pickering. The official crowd, 15,476 at Waverley this afternoon. We'll take a break. Scotty Palmer coming up in just a moment.
Time. The CUB AFL 1991 Premiership Season League ladder.
And the ladder, after today's matches, 2 games to complete the round. The West Coast, as I mentioned, still on top. 100% match ratio so far from Essendon, North Melbourne, St Kilda, Melbourne and Hawthorn making up the 6, and looking down the ladder on the bottom, the Brisbane Bears still to break the ice. The AFL Today continues after the break.
A wind over halfback. Up forward by Tunbridge. Doolan doing good work at the front of the pack. Lawson a good gather. Off to Carroll. His left footer within scoring distance. The Swans need it here. It's knocked to the front. Oh, sock off the ground.
Baxter, probing kick towards half forward. Holmes fisting away. Atkins read it superbly. Bacon goal square. Goal.
Good kick.
Right to the edge of the goal square. Oh, Doolan does well. A banana kick. And a chance for Wright, who kicks the goal.
The Bulldogs, Owens looking to clear. Tunbridge, who's tried very hard, slaps it out. Atkins has got it now. Scrambled back by Hunter. And a good mark is taken by Charles, who's been lively at centre half forward so far in this game. He'll take a good kick. He'll kick from about 40 metres out. Low trajectory, hasn't got the carry. It just clears the pack.
tell it's a goal. Hand passes back towards the centre of the ground. Wine picked it up well to Baxter. In open spaces, Foster. Foster can run to centre half forward, pops it over the top now. Sexton goes back, takes the mark. Distance shouldn't be a problem. Good looking kick. It's home after the siren. Just forward at centre wing. Troy Luff. McKenzie. Chance for Sydney now. He can go long and get in behind the defence, so it's a run back. Eccleston and Love. This will be interesting. They go towards the boundary line. Good use of the body by Love. Remains standing. Question of accuracy. He's kicked a goal. Great goal. Almost a great mark to Foster, but it falls to Love. He's been their most dangerous forward. Love finds Tui 15 metres out. Runs and gets another one. Jackie Love and the Sydney Swans coming back in the closing stages of that quarter. Just 2 goals. Very low scoring but tight affair. So at three-quarter time, Footscray 4-9 had their chances. 4-9-33 leading Sydney 4-4-28. So just 5 points in it. We'll take a break. And heading our commentary team out there at the Western Oval is Drew Morfitt. We'll be back with Drew for the opening bounce of the final term in just a moment.
When we got Ted's superannuation payout, we thought we were rich. Then we realised we had to make it last the rest of our lives. So we had a chat to our bank manager at Westpac. He made sure we got the right investment advice. We're nice and comfortable now. Can't understand why some people take big risks with their money.
You can bank on us.
Christopher Skase has stashed one thing away. His wife, Pixie Skase, the socialite everyone loved, once the toast of the town, now living in obscurity on a farm in Spain. Who does she talk to? Can she come back? It all makes sense in the Sunday age.
I can't go out and see them, Jeff. I can't afford the time. But until Harry calls him, we can't reach him.
It's ridiculous. There must be a way we can contact our field staff quickly.
And he doesn't know this has come up. And we've got to deal with it fast, and it's the best we can do.
I'm needed here. Having me running around all over the place is not good business, Jeff.
Well, what am I supposed to do about it?
Talk to someone. Look, this is no one's fault, but there has to be a better way.
What do you mean, mobile phones?
Possibly, but it may not be as simple as that.
Oh, you say talk to someone. But who would you trust?
I don't know, but we have to find them.
Because we can't go on like this.
There is someone.
It's that time of the year again. Tax time. And this year, doing your tax will be less of a hassle, because with TaxPack, most people will only have to answer the first 15 questions. And we've even included extra forms in case you need them. TaxPack. Look out for it in your letterbox next week.
Nice clean football to start the last quarter with just 5 points in it. Footscray in front. Wine wins. Mitchell off the ground. Doesn't clear the